We buy verticals if the volatility is less than 50 because that means something is cheap. And when we define our profit by having that POP strike price, we get a much greater POP on a bought vertical as opposed to just a bought option by itself. Instead of 35% roughly POP, we get up to about 50% POP when we define the profit by creating a long or bought or debit vertical. On the selling side, when volatility is greater than 50, that means something is expensive. In this case, we're defining our loss. Instead of just selling a naked option, we're defining our loss by buying that other option to create a vertical, and that is going to give us a much higher POP, somewhere in the 60 to 65% range when we're talking about selling verticals. And if we can win more than we can lose, our POP is always less than 50%, and that's the buying option scenario. If we can lose more money than we can win, our POP is always greater than 50%, and that's much preferred. So, as an option buyer, because this undefined profit is much greater than that defined loss, we always have a low POP here, way down at 35%, which we don't like. And buying options outright is kind of expensive. If we go into the vertical game, as a vertical buyer, we're defining our profit. And by defining our profit, we end up with a POP much closer to 50%. So we take out this undefined profit, replace it with a defined profit, and we boost our POP all the way from about 35 on average to closer to 50 every time. Much better, and it's a much less expensive trade as well. Vertical sellers, even better. Again, we're defining our loss when we sell a vertical, and we end up with POPs right around the 60% POP range when we do them correctly. And finally, when we just sell options naked is our biggest POP because we have this undefined loss. Of course, we don't want to do that as beginning traders, but because of undefined loss potential, we always have a really high POP. On average, if we do it correctly, we're looking at about a 75% POP. But for us, we are in the vertical game. We're looking in the 50 to 60 POP range because we have a defined loss, also defined profit, but also a relatively high POP in the grand scheme of things.